I was so excited, I forgot to press record.
Common sense.
Welcome to our show. This is Common Sense, and we're a show which likes to try and bring some sense back into this mad world.
Welcome back to Common Sense. I'm your host, Juan, and
I'm your host, well, your technical host, Ian.
that's right. And today we will be talking about the excellent debate between Statler and Waldorf. I don't know if you remember the Muppets, the old guys in the balcony,
Yeah, I remember that. It used
which
to
was
crack me up.
a snooze fest for the ages. I don't know what you thought about it, and it was rough, especially for one candidate, even though it wasn't really good for either one, to be honest.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I mean, it was it was a kind of a one horse race in some instance, but the way it was, when the optics, it's two old men, two pensioners kind of having an argument, kind of thing, it's not really stimulating for the youth of America, I would suspect, be quite honest.
Well, man, it was a show. It looked like Madame Tussauds at times, like looking at these two guys, you're like, are these guys made out of wax? But what surprised me most of all was how the DNC threw Joe Biden under the bus, basically, with this debate, making the debate earlier so they could switch candidates. And it was just pathetic and ridiculous how at the end of the debate, all the pundits, all the CNN pundits, all the Twitter pundits came out and said, we're in panic. We had no idea. And it's like, are you kidding us? I mean, this is insulting our intelligence. I mean, you realize with the debate only last night that this man was not fit to be president. I mean,
Yeah, it's just crazy. I could, to think that this guy was, I mean, he looked like he was raised from the coffin and put on the stage, and still didn't know where he was, and was still figuring out where he was, and stringing these words together. Oh my God, it was torture watching him. Medicare.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
World War Two and One. I spoke to the dead. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, Trump could have kind of went in on him like that, but it's like he showed pity and just gave him a smile and shook his head and like in sympathy of his opponent. It was brutal.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Trump was off his game as well. He'd done a rally earlier in the day. I don't know if that was good for him because he was a little bit low energy, and I thought he got tangled up with the past. All they kept doing was talk about the past and what he did, what he didn't do. And instead of talking about the future, instead of talking about the economy, it's just like, instead of talking about the border, instead of talking about the things, Americans really care about, I think they got, stuck talking about whether, he slept with a porn star, and it's just ridiculous. And another thing is that, Trump, of course, lied because that's what, of course, Trump does. Biden also lied, to be honest, because, for instance, when he said that the Border Patrol actually was behind him, then they tweeted out like, no, this isn't true. I don't know where he got this from. So he also got, was they're both politicians. Trump is a politician by now. But what I heard is a lot of people on X and a lot of the pundits say, these moderators are terrible. They didn't call Trump's bullshit out, and it's like that's not their job. Their job is to be neutral. It's Joe's job to call the bullshit out, and Joe failed miserably.
I think it's all a bunch of malarkey, baloney, sucker. So, we got this 1950s talk, man.
Yeah, well, it's adequate for this occasion.
Man, it was like, oh God, what is this, right? It's just like so. Can we get some,
Cockamamie.
yeah,
You know?
the cockamamie malarkey. I'm like, what? You think the youth know what you're talking about? It's like another language to them. But yeah, I think the moderators didn't try to save Joe at all in this situation, and they gave him the rope to hang himself. The questions were quite fair, to be quite honest, which is very unusual for CNN. You know, they challenged both of them
Right.
with certain
Yeah,
questions.
I thought so as well. Yeah.
So it was surprisingly unbiased to a certain degree, and I mean, Trump could have done a lot better. I agree with you because if he wanted to, all he had to do is make a point and keep quiet. You know, he could say like 5 words. You know, I improved the economy by whatever 70%, and then keep quiet and hand it over to Joe
Right.
and let Joe hang himself. You know, but Trump has a bit of verbal diarrhea. You know,
Yeah, and I think also an ego. You know, he
his
can't.
ego. As soon as Biden says something, yeah, you slept with a porn star when you was married and your wife was in church or some shit.
Yeah, she was pregnant.
Pregnant, you know, so really
And the
kneeling.
funniest part was with a straight face. He's like, "I never slept with a porn star." I mean, come on, you know, like we don't care, but you know, nobody cares what you did 20 years ago. It's not going to change how you run the country, but you know, it's just ridiculous.
He didn't sleep with. He didn't sleep with her. He got a blowjob probably. Like Bill Clinton.
She says he slept with her, but take Stormy Daniels' word for it. You know,
Semantics, you know.
right.
But
That was like Clinton, right? Clinton.
Clinton, yeah.
I did not have.
I had a cigar. I did not have sexual relations with her.
The cigar did.
You know. But the thing is, like I said, anyway, the thing is, Trump could have easily, you know, destroyed Biden even to a higher degree by just being silent for, you know, after for longer periods. But he's too reactionary, and his ego does come into play. So when you poke him and you say something or accuse him of something, you know, he wants to render it correct immediately. You know, and it's all stuff in the past, like Jan 6.
Right.
Oh, you said that Jan 6 were great people and you're going to release them, and you said they were bad people, and so
it's like Back to the Future, man.
Well, it's this the contradictionary exposure of what Joe Biden said. He said he kind of flip flopped on Jan 6. You know, he said they were bad people, and then he said he's going to kind of pardon them all afterwards. All he could just say, well, on reflection of the evidence, that's the right way to go about it, and then keep quiet. But no, he would go on to kind of just really justify his reasons of and stuff like that. I think he needs to rail it back and not. There's no need to defend himself so hard because all the evidence is already out there. Everybody knows what happened, and it's all in the public domain. So you can't really lie. So no one can lie, whether it's Joe or whether it's Trump.
Right.
Just make a point and move on.
Yeah, he was definitely on the defensive. He didn't talk enough about what he would do. He didn't talk about the vice presidents.
Yes, the vice presidents.
Yeah. Who is your vice president, right? That's the question.
Which is a risky game to be playing. I think this is another thing I have issue with Trump. He's really, you know, stretching out this who's going to be his vice president thing very long and trying to, I don't know, it might be a case that, well, if you select someone, it might cause, you know, less votes.
Right. Yeah, I think Trump likes playing with people too. You know, he likes leaving it to the last moment. He likes.
Yes, and it's a dangerous game he's playing. It's because, say, if he falls ill, the vice president would take over the position normally. Right. But if there's no vice president, the vice president of the opposition will probably take over. So he's playing a dangerous game. Or he would go to Congress and they vote in whoever and blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game. You need to announce who it is. Because you're now putting everybody's you're putting everything. You're putting like everybody's anticipations on like on a
high,
hook.
yeah.
Yeah, on high. We all have our choices.
If people are anxious, yeah,
Very anxious,
it's
and you
making people
just
anxious.
and you're toying with
And
it.
the last
It's not
VP
fun.
pick wasn't great, you know.
Exactly. And who was that guy?
Pence, Mike Pence. Yeah, after the debate, the way the pundits came out on CNN and it's like they snapped out of hypnosis all of a sudden. They're like, "Wait a minute, we didn't realize this guy wasn't fit to be president," and it's like, who are you trying to fool? I mean, you're insulting people's intelligence. It's just not the right thing to do. And then they're throwing out Gavin Newsom, and he's like, "I'm not gonna say, Joe Biden is the candidate. I have nothing to do with this." It's like, come on, guy. Once you say that as a politician, once if you're a politician and you say, I'm not running, you're running. If not, you don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he'll say, well, the people made me.
Well, Gavin is just another dodgy character that's to throw him in the mix. He's been fluttering around the media, around this whole debate as well. He's
right. He had a meeting with Clinton in Mexico back in January, and they said they were polling him or something like that. They were seeing how he was going to do. So he's been around,
Well, they see him as a good candidate. He's young, he's good looking, and he's very,
he has the look. But the state, California,
that's the problem. If you look at California, San Francisco, California is a shithole right about now, and
yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
There's been an exodus of people from California going to Texas because of high taxes, security, dirty streets.
Yeah, it's a toilet.
It's a mess.
Was it called the camp? What the camp? Whatever, Skid Row.
Yeah, Skid Row. Correct.
Yes. So it's just imagine Skid Row on a nationwide level. Right. That's what you'll get with Gavin Newsom. Who would want someone like
they're
that?
From California, Kamala and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
And nobody likes Kamala either, right?
No one likes Kathleen Kamala because she sounds condescending to even the Democrats because she laughs when there's serious issues being debated. makes light of serious issues.
Right.
And she states the obvious all the time. She goes, "Do you know that the school bus, children used to get on the school bus and drive to the school?" That's how she talks.
Right.
Literally like that. And I don't know, she got some training from, what's her name, AOC or something like that.
Right. Maybe she got it from Jill Biden, because at the end of the debate, the most embarrassing part of all was when Jill went up on stage and told Joe, "You answered every question," as if it was some sort of kindergartner. And it was just sad. Honestly, I think this man should be in an old age home or fishing or doing whatever he has to do in his final days, because he's definitely not fit to be president. He would lose his train of thought, his sentences at times. At one point, Trump was like, I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows what he said either. Then he said he had a par 6 golf handicap, which, come on, guy. I mean, what, so I mean, yeah, Trump lies, but you're not far behind. You don't fall behind in that department, Joe.
I think that Jill is one of the worst wives ever, to let your husband go through all that for so long, knowing that.
Honestly, it seemed like elderly abuse. Yeah,
it's abuse. It's publicly on display for the world to see. We've got world leaders laughing at them. They're making comical skits all over the world. I've seen one in Italy. I've seen one in, I think, Iran, or no, not Iran, or some Arab nation where they were taking the piss out of him as well.
Right.
He's become above all jokes. And something which Trump has mentioned is that, America has become a very a place where it's not being taken very seriously anymore. It's a laughing stock and not respected. And I think it's quite true. It's quite true with that.
It is true. I think he does demonstrate weak leadership. Joe is just,
Well, we got the Afghanistan as well. You know what happened
right.
in Afghanistan? My God, that should have been the nail in the coffin.
that disaster. Yeah,
That
he was defending it actually. Like Joe's actually defending it. These politicians, they have no shame. Um, but you know, I think Trump didn't do a great job. He was low energy. He also lied, you know, a couple of times.
mm,
But I mean, he at least he's there for if he wants to hold a job, he could do it. You know, he's cognitive, you know,
I
capabilities are there, unlike Joe.
I tell you, if I was Joe Biden and I wanted to go at Trump, I would be like lockdowns,
Right,
vaccines.
right.
I would have
The
been
thing
on
is that
his
goes against Biden's religion. I mean, it goes
exactly.
against it goes
But
against.
that's the thing what he could have went at with Trump, but it would be kind of shooting himself in his
Right.
foot because Biden is the top lobbyist for Pfizer.
Okay, so he's not going to be doing that
Yeah,
anytime soon. You
and
know,
Trump is the second.
right? Yeah.
So
Trump, unlike you know in 2016 where he paid for his own campaign, now he's got a bunch of lobbyists, and I think it shows in the way he's running his campaign as well.
mm,
He's not as out there as he used to be. He's not saying anything like, you know, we're going to ban Muslims or you
yeah,
know rapists and Mexico's going to pay for it. He's a lot more toned down.
yeah.
I think it has something to do with the money from the lobbyists.
Lobbyist, yeah. He's skating past certain topics. Like I said, you know, I think that with him being more reserved and letting Joe speak, which he done to a good level, but it could have been improved.
Right.
You know, and if it was improved, I think he would have it would have been a serious landslide. It was a landslide, but more because of Joe's performance, not because of Trump's performance. And I
Right.
think that's the biggest takeaway on this thing.
Yeah, I thought actually Joe did for good for his capabilities. You know,
Yeah, he
doesn't mean
survived.
he's fit to be president, but I thought he did as best as he could. And then the next day there was a rally, and I don't know if the drugs kicked in or something, but or it was earlier in the day also. You know, so you know, seniors at night they tend to go down a little bit, and yeah, he just seemed like he was more. And another thing I saw in the rally was that I don't think he knew that the DNC was planning on pulling the switcheroo on him, and he didn't sound like he wanted to let go of the power anytime soon in that rally, even though every single pundit on TV and on Twitter was saying, you know, time to get this guy out of here.
No, he's not going to get out of it because Joe. You know, you got to remember why Joe got back into politics. Charlottesville dragged him right back in because he was so upset about the racists in Charlottesville and that whole scene, you know, which was terribly racist. And I mean, if he did get back into politics, well, I would have said that he's not black. But besides that, you know, obviously he's getting a lot of kickback from China, Ukraine, and stuff like
Right,
that.
yeah. He's not going to want to let go of that.
No, he's not. He's not gonna let go of that. He'll take that as far as he can. And then you got Hunter Biden,
Oh,
which got mentioned a couple of times, but
yeah, not
I,
enough times. I
not
thought.
enough times.
Yeah,
I would have like
he didn't
really,
press him on that. You know,
yeah, press him on that.
he was just like trying to defend himself. He messed up. Trump.
If he really wanted to throw Joe Biden off his horse, all he had to say is, "Yeah, your granddaughter's diary."
Your daughter's diary
Your
and
daughter's diary.
the granddaughter you don't acknowledge because
Acknowledge.
he has a granddaughter he doesn't acknowledge.
Yeah,
Plus, well, there's a diary of his daughter's diary, which is also real, just like laptop.
yeah.
And yeah, it's
But
some
people would,
unsavory things. Yeah.
I think people would say, "Oh, it's below the belt," you know. But what's below the belt really? And
Yeah,
The electoral fraud. The
it's
electoral
part of the man's character. You know what I mean?
the electoral fraud. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Joe Biden went there everywhere. He was like, you raped a person.
Yes.
You had sex with a porn star.
Yes.
He just went, for the dirt.
I think when he mentioned the electoral fraud, Trump could have easily came back and said, well, one of the DNCs has just been arrested for electoral fraud and pulled up. I can't remember the lady's name. Is African American lady who was shoving like untold envelopes into the post box.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she got done for that. He could have brought that up. He never brought that up because I think he was just bouncing on the same points all the time.
Yeah,
And it kind of, if you watch it back, you'll see it's kind of, we've heard it all before. Nothing really new to
Yeah.
to the
Do
table.
you think maybe the DNC doesn't want a primary? They don't want Bernie to come in and mess up their game again, so they're trying to do all these things. So because they didn't even have a primary, like the
No, they won't do that because that's what happened last time, and Hillary,
right.
didn't really make it because of
And Bernie took a big chunk out of her.
Yeah, the infighting. So they try to avoid it, and then at the end, they'll bring in whoever, a lady of color.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I don't think they're gonna have it that easy here either, because I think Joe Biden is not gonna be happy about this, and I don't know if he's gonna go, easily. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in the convention. They have another debate coming up as well, right? Correct?
Yeah, but what can Joe do? Has he got dirt on everybody? Is he in control? No, he's not in control.
Depends how many people back him. It doesn't sound like a lot of people are backing him.
I think Obama's in control, and he's calling the shots with Hillary Clinton. They're in control. I think they're still in control.
They're still the heart of it.
Yeah, because we're still hearing their voices when things go wrong, or you understand, and when things go right, they're like, Trump being convicted as a villain, they kind of keep quiet, or they might make a kind of speech and say, "Oh, well, I told you so," blah, blah, blah. He's a bad guy. But these guys, when they're very quiet, I would be very worried because they're usually plotting something.
Yeah.
And they haven't gone away. They left politics a long time ago, but yet we're finding dead bodies coming up in the ocean, and
they can't leave it alone.
Yeah, so I think they're fully active, and I think Joe Biden's like a
Obama's making a little subliminal movies. Have you seen those? The A24 movies?
Yeah.
They all have
busy.
like weird, but they all have like subliminal messages. They're all like, like world wars and like terrorists.
I think it's called Escape the World or something like that.
Right.
But
there's another one too, like recently was
Civil War.
Civil War, right.
Civil War and Escape.
See, they're all like
World.
Yeah.
There's
some predictive programming going on there, I think.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool actually. One of the films was
they're
good.
not bad. Some of them
the other one really sucked. I mean, it was so bad.
The Civil War wasn't too good, right? What was the one at the end of the world called?
What's that?
The movie, the end of what was it?
Escape
the End of the World or
something like
that. That one was good. I like that one.
Yeah,
it's with Julia Roberts, right?
Yeah, I really like that one. I really like that one.
Yeah,
even if it was made by
entertaining.
Obama, it doesn't really matter.
No, I don't care.
Okay, who made
it's
it?
Good.
It's good. Yeah.
I'd like to switch subjects. Actually, it's going to come from Mike Pence because I read his tweet 2 days ago. Something because there was another huge news apart from the slow debate. That was the freeing of Julian Assange. And I heard Mike Pence, on Twitter say, he should have been in jail forever. This guy should not be pardoned. He's a traitor.
Mike was his name Pompeo?
Oh, Mike Pompeo, yeah.
He wanted to literally, snuff him out.
Oh yeah.
He was on that kind of.
They were planning to assassinate this guy.
No, he said it publicly. He allegedly, but
No, I've heard that that's on record somewhere.
Yeah.
So you can say it. I've heard it. I've also heard it.
So Assange is out, but it's quite timely.
It's quite timely.
That
Yeah, I thought that too. And it was kind of, how they made him sign that he was guilty. He had to plead guilty. That's kind of a win, for them because he wasn't guilty of anything,
Yeah, it wasn't just pleading guilty. You think that was their win? That wasn't the win. He had to bleach all the data on all the drives on the DNC.
Is that right?
Yes, that was part of the deal.
That was part of the deal.
Yeah, he had to bleach all.
And only the DNC, or just everybody.
I,
They probably said everybody, but they did it for the DNC.
yeah.
Yeah. And plus, and the elections were coming up. It wasn't a good look. Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the deeper end of it. I suspect, the bleaching of the documents and stuff like that, because that's obviously their biggest threat.
Sure.
Yeah, but as well as that, I thought it kind of damages Trump because Trump said he was going to release him, and he was convinced not to by the hawks.
Right.
Pompeo and a few others convinced him not to do it. I mean,
are you sure that's it? Because then I don't know what to believe of Trump. Because Trump will say something and then
exactly. I mean, how could you? This is where I'm saying that he makes so much stupid decisions. I don't believe it for someone who's meant to be kind of intelligent. Either he's being forced or he's part of a situation,
Yeah.
because Assange should have got pardoned straight away. The January 6th people should have been pardoned straight away.
Right. Edward Snowden should be pardoned.
Yeah, Edward Snowden should be pardoned. These are people who were on your side and actually helped by giving you information, ammo,
sure, yeah.
to attack your adversaries. And he just left them in the gutter to rot. And this is the bad side of Trump.
Yeah, Trump will turn on you like in a second. Like he has no problem he
turned you over, what's her name?
Throwing you under the bus. He doesn't give a damn.
When Candice asked him some tough questions, he turned on her, and she saw his true colours.
Right.
And this is the thing with Trump. That's why you got really. When people say, "Oh, he's the greatest president of all time," he done good stuff. Don't get me wrong. All presidents do some good stuff. Some do greater stuff as well.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he still got an ego, and his ego really does get in the way at times of his judgment. And I think he gets peer pressured into questions and situations. Like the Edward Snowden.
Yeah, like not releasing the JFK documents completely.
Yeah.
Other things he promised a bunch of things.
He could have done easy. I mean,
yeah.
Joe Biden got into office. He's like, hey, he was just like shining away, bloody,
Yeah.
He was just doing it non-stop. He had no problem wielding power and feeling like a tyrant. Where Trump, he doesn't want to feel like a tyrant. He wants the people to be on his side and stuff like that. But during COVID,
it
was totally different. He saw a different side of him.
Right.
So,
but to be fair, I mean, every single country on earth except Sweden reacted like that.
Yes.
But it was wrong across the board. And I was.
But I mean. Does he still say it's wrong? Is the question. I don't think so. But Julian Assange should have came out a long time ago. He done a plea deal because he done time served just by admitting that he did do some espionage kind of stuff when it was really journalism, and really there's other businesses which done exactly the same thing, releasing documents, and have not gone through that kind of process. So it just exposes the two-tier situation and political kind of targeting of your opponents and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be angry if I was Trump. You know, they made me debate a guy that's not even going to be, he's not even going to be the nominee. You know, I'd be like, what are you guys doing? You guys are making me debate the guy that's not a nominee. But I don't know. You know, I don't know if this is going to work for the Democrats. They only have 5 months to get somebody.
pull up their pants and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's some, like you said, there's some names thrown in the hat. Whether it's, well, I'm going to mention some names, but definitely Gavin Newsom.
Right.
Is,
Yeah, the only three that I could think of are Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, and now Gavin Newsom. I hadn't even thought of Gavin Newsom, honestly, but now that they threw him in the ring, I guess so. But you know,
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams as well, huh?
Yeah. So, and she's a very bitter pill. You know, she didn't take her loss too well as well. I remember clearly. So that's someone to kind of look at. Hey, did you hear about AOC getting kicked out of Congress?
AOC got kicked out of Congress? No, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I hope it's not fake, but
wow,
I believe
didn't hear that. No.
She got kicked out. Someone else got kicked out.
And for what?
I think, I don't know. They just removed the. Oh, the other guy was. I think he was on the. I think he was on the team for Trump's trial. I can't remember that guy. No, it's the guy who pulled the fire alarm. He got kicked out of Congress as well.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. No, I didn't.
Yeah, so but both of them were doing a speech in the Bronx, and it kind of fell. It was a bit flat actually. It looked so corny and cheesy. You got like AOC doing her best hood.
Oh, I remember she came out dancing ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, homies, what we gonna do?
Yeah, dude. That was it was so like forced and ridiculous. Yeah, I saw that bit of it, but then I was like, I don't want to see this.
And he was like swearing and going, yeah, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that far. I just saw her going out, and I was like, okay.
I'm like, there could be kids there, you know. Why do you have to behave like this just because you got to the hood to try and
this populist like approach? You know, I'm one of you.
Come on, man. And so
that doesn't work, you know.
It's just embarrassing. I think the DNC is just
it's in trouble.
Yeah, it's in a big mess. But you know, they put themselves in a big mess, and the country is
incredible that these are the top two choices. Like, you know, isn't this like the city on the hill, the U.S., like democracy, and this is the best they can come up with? Like, honestly, this is the best you guys can do.
There's a lot of good, much better people in Congress, but no one has the bravery to put these people in position, because they would just say, they would say experience. Right. It's not even experience, and then it's it's a populist kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be popular now.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have in England we have the popular
Nigel Farage. Wow, did you hear the news with Channel 4?
What the whole undercover Nazi thing. Well, recently what's come out is that
one of them was an actor, right?
It was an actor.
He's claiming that the worst one was an actor, is what he's saying.
It didn't make sense. Who would talk to a stranger like that? I mean,
it was a bit, of course. I saw it. It didn't look real.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was super retarded. You've never met this person before in your life. You knock on their door and you start talking in that kind of tone.
It was strange. It didn't seem realistic, to be honest with you. The guy who was like, I saw him. He's like walking around, like knocking on doors. Yeah,
it's a hit job. I mean, they're coming after Farage left, right, and center. They're coming after him after the Ukraine thing and the Putin thing.
Right. And just because he's popular and people are actually like backing up. You know what I'm going to say about him? I saw him on Loose Woman. You know Loose Woman? Have you heard of this show?
Yeah.
It's like The View, like the English version of The View. It's a little better because it's English. But he was actually on that show, I think today. And he really disavowed like all this. And he was like, I'm totally against this. I'm the guy who put the far right out of business in England. He's
Mm.
like, of course, there's always gonna be like some fringe elements. But I thought he spoke really well, and I really liked how he was like, this is garbage. Plus, this guy's an actor, like. But the other guys also like they're out of here. He's like, I don't like this kind of talk because the other guys weren't as rough. The other two that said they also said some. Yeah, so they said something about Rishi. They called it the
Yes.
P word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rishi came out, of course, and used the situation to, I'm
Yeah.
offended, my daughter's hurted.
Mm.
But I loved how Farage handled that on Loose Woman,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but
No, I didn't see it. But hey, all parties have their bad apples in there as well.
oh sure.
But what that guy was talking about, the actor, was outlandish.
Yeah, because that other guy was way out there.
I
Like,
mean-
the other guys were okay, whatever.
All right.
But that guy was just ridiculous. It was cartoonish. Yeah.
It's all been about the debates this week, and Assange being released.
Right.
I mean, Tucker went to Australia to do the rounds, and he kind of embarrassed the
I saw that.
Australian
That was pretty funny,
government and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think Twitter's been very active this week, and especially after yesterday, I think it's time to kind of check Twitter and see what lively discussions has been going on in the Twitter world.
Right now, you mean?
Yeah, maybe. What do you think?
What, we're here with the computer?
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go for it.
Let's see.
Yeah, while one sets up the computer,
No, we can edit this as well.
we can have a look at. Well, the camera's on me and I'm looking pretty good, so I want to just exploit the situation. Yeah, it was very late, the debates. I was struggling to stay awake. I'm sure.
Oh, you were struggling as well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I stayed awake was because I was watching it with our friend Fernando here. I had to let him out eventually, but I would have fallen asleep way before that. What a snooze fest, honestly. And plus, nothing new,
Yeah.
and
And they had these long breaks, commercial breaks in between as well, which kind of broke up the flow. Toilet breaks, maybe.
debate.
Yeah, what's his name? Trump and what's his name?
Joe Trump,
Yeah, presidential debate. And
or just debate.
let's read some tweets.
Let's read some tweets. Tweets, sorry.
Or some.
So if it's tweets, what are they called now? They're X's. I mean, that's not cool.
Here we go.
Let's see.
You reckon you can slide over to
I can slide over to the left.
that side? Yeah.
This
That's
way,
it.
right?
That's perfect. Yeah, right there.
All right. Donald Trump is the only president besides Herbert Hoover who left office with fewer jobs than when he began. If you're tweeting, who the heck is on stage right now? Sounds pretty good. That shows you how Joe Biden works. So basically, yeah, he's not tweeting. And the thing is, this stupid tweet doesn't take into account COVID, right? I mean, why would you even say something like that? It's ridiculous. And plus, it wasn't him. So they obviously have somebody right. Okay, I intend to win this election. All right, so he's not backing down.
Oh.
Yep. You want to hear him? Let's hear him.
Let's hear him. Let's get.
How much? Wait. All right. Let's hit it from the top. We'll edit. I'll edit. Don't worry about all that. All right. Let's see what.
Joe. Wonder how much he paid him. I'm shouting in your ears, man. I know, I do know.
I know how to tell the truth, and everybody claps at that.
Huh?
You want
This is no. This is like idiosis.
Idiocracy, like a movie,
Idiocracy,
right?
yeah. I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. Okay. Okay.
Wow, he showed some strength there, huh?
You get
He's
back
awake.
up. You get knocked down, you get back up.
He's not made out of wax. He's real.
Well, not quite true, Joe. When you fell on your bike, you kind of stayed down.
You gotta stay down.
Yeah, they definitely gave him something, eh?
They definitely gave him something. It hit him late. You know what I mean?
That new crack. Yeah.
I give my words and by having not many years back into me. With all my heart and soul, I can do his God. It's quite frankly,
With all his heart and soul, he can do his job. Not with his brain and his body, but with all his heart and soul.
He's a heartless mama. Yeah, his heart and soul is already in the bank of Satan. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was interesting. I don't know if he's gonna go. He's not gonna go easy. That's what it seems like.
Well, you see some of these.
What these memes
But
things?
Biden looked like this is the entire
'Cause
debate.
he had the notes, so he was like,
like March.
yeah.
What's his name? What's his name again? I can't remember.
Right. He had some notes, so
Simpson.
he was looking down the whole time.
Yeah, he was reading that shit.
Yeah. All the answers, all the questions they given him in advance, the answers.
Like,
I thought that was brave of him. At least he was like, I don't give a fuck. Look, I got him here. You know.
Yeah.
I don't care if you know. This is the same thing, I guess, of him like saying that. Now, what's Elton John doing here?
Oh my gosh.
So you mean to tell me Biden went to Atlanta for the debate, stayed up all night at the Waffle House, flew to North Carolina the next day, and went off at a rally, and then went to New York City to stand up for the LGBTQ community at a Stonewall event with Elton John?
Wow.
Is that him? No, that's not it. Oh, yeah, he's alive. He's right there.
Yeah.
I thought that wasn't him, but is that him real, or is he on the screen?
He doesn't look too happy, man.
But he doesn't look like he's. Is that really him behind him, or is that like
Yeah, that's him.
he's so still? He almost looks like
He's not even blinking,
he
eh?
looks like a photograph.
No, he's not even blinking.
Wait, am I right next to? I'm right next to him, aren't I? Oh,
Oh,
God.
no, there you go. Oh, blinked once. Oh, he's laughing.
Oh, there he
Yes,
goes.
yeah.
His brain told him. Gotta smile.
I think maybe Joe is definitely on something.
Well, they have to, have him to at least.
Look, what was that? I made you. I scared you.
Is he right next to me? I'm like right in front of him, right?
Yeah.
You can't see him. I should probably be on the other side on this one, right?
Joe will do anything for a vote, man. I'm telling you.
Joe is a mercenary. He has been a politician all his life. I don't think he knows how to do anything else. But I think that's enough of him. Let's see what else. You don't want to see what Elton John said? No, right?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
And let's see what else. Drink when Trump. Oh, this is a fun game. This is somebody put a drinking game,
Yes.
and every time they say something, says something.
Look,
see
people,
what this-
everyone
let's
is
see what-
saying
I'm gonna-
Sleepy Joe.
Okay, let's see. When Biden
Drink.
when Biden calls Trump a convicted felon, and when he says, "Listen, folks, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Listen, folks." Tells childhood story that probably didn't happen. We're protecting, saving democracy. That's true. Isn't that so cliched? I'm sick of that. You know which one I'm also sick of, which isn't on here, but this is the most important election of our lifetime. What election isn't the most important in our lifetime? Is every single election the most important lifetime? That's not believable. That's not credible. I mean, if it is that the present election is the most important one because it's the present one, then there's no point in saying it. Stop saying that. I hate that. Anyway, next one. Tells childhood stories. Yeah, we read that one. We're protecting saying the man makes a joke about his age. Well, he didn't last night, but he did at the rally. Starts a sentence but ends with a completely different thought. He did that, I think, every single time he spoke, or almost every single time he spoke.
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought about that. Let's see. Drink when Trump. People, everyone is saying. Everyone is saying. Yeah, that sounds like him. Sleepy Joe. He didn't say Sleepy Joe, but he could have. The Biden crime family didn't say that
He
either.
didn't say that, really.
Believe me.
Oh,
he probably
he
said
says
that.
that a lot.
Insults Jake Tapper. No, he didn't do it this
No.
time. Jazz hands or other excessive hand motion. Well,
I didn't really see that much.
a little bit of that. You saw this. Well,
Sometimes, yeah.
this one, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, then we have to drink when either freezes up for 3 seconds. I mean, that really should just be Joe. Then this is the most important election. Oh, there they have it. This is the most important election. It should be of our lifetime.
Be
But-
drunk by then. Yeah, on that one alone, you'll be drunk.
You'd be dead on that one. And then accuses of the other of anti-Semitism. A little bit, Trump said at one point he's like a bad Palestinian. I don't know if did you hear that part when he's like,
Yeah, I think I heard that part. Yeah.
which is kind of rough thing to say, a bad Palestinian. I mean, you can say Hamas, but if you say a bad Palestinian. Oh, what about the black jobs? That was quite a thing on Twitter. Did you hear about that?
What's that?
When he was like, the immigrants are taking black jobs.
Oh, yes.
People were not about that. They did not like him saying black jobs,
He said black and brown, actually, to be quite.
Yeah, and then he said black and brown. First he said black jobs, and then he's like black and brown because he was like Hispanics as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I think what he's saying is that statistically, the jobs where they have the most blacks and Hispanics,
Yeah.
which is just a mathematical equation.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not the right way to say it if you're going to be a president, honestly.
yeah. Well, he's just saying it how it is, isn't it? Black jobs, brown jobs,
Right.
kind of blue collared kind of work, and
Sure.
stuff like that. The immigrants going to come in and take all those places, which is kind of true.
Right.
What was absent is that he never said white jobs, because there are a lot of blue-collared white working
yeah.
people in the country. So, yeah, that kind of sound like he was pandering to an ethnic group.
Yeah, and it wasn't the right way to do it. Like the ethnic groups did not take that nicely. Like I saw a bunch of Hispanic guys and black guys saying like, what is this? What is this guy talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Black jobs.
but sometimes it's better the devil you know, and they tell you how it is and how it comes out, rather than masking it with, putting pearls on the pig and kind of thing, So it didn't really bother me in that sense as well, So I think we understand what he was trying to say, because he's talking about the stress it will put on the medical and everything else.
And everything, yeah.
Everything.
Education,
Yeah.
jobs, everything.
Yeah, so.
Then the next one would be, drinks their water. I don't remember seeing either one drink water, to be honest. Finished bottle. Okay, either dies. You have to finish the bottle if either one dies, or they agree on something. Okay, so nobody finished the bottle.
Did they agree on something?
Well, I'm not sure if
Much.
Vine was dead, but anyway,
Interesting.
That was a fun
That's
game,
good.
I guess. Let's see. This debate was a blessing for anyone who is trying to convince people a deep state shadow government exists. Who's running the country? It's not this guy.
Yeah, it's not him. He's
Well,
a sock puppet.
Look at him. He's tweeting while he's in the debate stage. So he's obviously not doing everything. Another interesting thing. RFK threw his own debate. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
He threw his own debate with a giant screen of the real debate going on.
Mm.
And what he would do is he would comment as they were like debating.
Okay.
And it was interesting, I can't take his voice for too long. I know it's a condition, so that's not
Yeah,
great.
same
But,
here.
my ears hurt after a while, but feel sorry for that. But why didn't they let this guy debate? Huh? Another DNC trick. They don't want this guy.
Interesting.
Although he's running as an independent at this point, right? He dropped out of he's an independent.
Tell me something. What did you watch it on? What channel?
The
debate.
RFK Jr. or the
No, the debate.
Oh, I saw it on CNN.
Oh, you watched the CNN.
Yeah.
I watched actually the PBD. What is it, Patrick Bet?
Oh, with commentary.
Yes.
That's more fun. Yeah.
It was a lot more fun. I jumped around a couple of channels. Steve Crowder.
Yeah, a bunch of people were doing it. Russell Brand was doing it as well.
I didn't like the Stephen Crowder one because he really talked a lot over
Too much, huh?
over it, where the Dave Patrick PDB was more respectful of
Of listening, right? Letting
Yeah.
people listen to what's going on. You can't be talking through it all the whole time because
it was too much.
too much, huh?
And there were some other channels who just had poor audio, and I just couldn't even hear it properly. So
Right. I heard Russell Brand was doing it, but I don't think I'd watch it with him. I was watching it with Fernando, so we watched it, the way it was, raw.
yes, raw.
Trump released a brutal 95-second ad of Joe Biden's debate lowlights. I think we're going to have to see
Look,
this.
it did his.
Let's see the lowlights. Here we go.
Well, I like making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to find housing anyway. Americans. The impact on the
Man, this is just me.
choice, the idea that they're gonna, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%.
Oh, dude,
1%.
I'm going to have to move out of this.
I'm not raising the cost of Social Security for anybody, I got my hand down, it's vice president down to 6.
Let me get this from the beginning.
You're going to be jumping all over the place.
Eric, we're going to edit it.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to find housing. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, millionaires pay 1%.
What?
So no one I'm not raising the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my hand down, it's permanent.
I'd love to see the subtitles on this or the transcription.
And just to get rid of the ability of Medicare for the ability for us to be able to negotiate drug pricing with the big pharma companies. But what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America.
1,000 trillionaire.
No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it's stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Damn, that's cold.
That was brutal. I mean, personally, I'm going to see if I can get some AI to like transcribe all that.
I think it's going to blow up if you do that.
Post
It's going to start blowing smoke.
Post it on X.
How about this guy? This is my favorite moment of the debate. Let's see what the favorite moment is.
Overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Jeopardy.
Uh-oh.
Family squares.
We'll keep it once. We'll edit it. Fine. But yeah, that was crazy. Let's see this. Trump being like, damn, yeah, Melania really was pregnant is still the craziest part of the debate. Yeah, actually, I saw this part. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
This is pretty good. This face. You gotta see this guy's face right here.
Sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. Like, what are you talking about?
Did you see his face there?
It was like, oh, that
He's
was
like-
that was low.
He's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, she was.
While your wife was pregnant. Like, what are you talking about?
It's like, yeah, well, yeah, who cares, dude? You're running a country. Nobody cares. Enough of this crap.
Your wife was pregnant.
Can't believe this. They still do these things. Anyway, let's see what this one is. 10 minutes into the debate, and the drugs are not strong enough.
With the COVID, excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with
Trump.
if
What are you talking about, Willis?
finally beat Medicare healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. look, if we finally beat Medicare, healthcare system,
Oh my
making
God.
sure that we're able to make
Jeez.
every
Anyway,
single solitary
Just say,
person.
we finally beat Medicare. Say it now. That's all he's hearing in his ears. He can't keep up with the fucking earpiece. Like saying in his ears, don't say they say this, and he's like,
what is he? You finally beat Medicare. It's Obama. He's like, you finally beat Medicare. Come on, Joe. Say it.
Say it.
Say it, Joe.
Just say it.
Just say what I'm saying. Repeat after me. Oh, well. What are you going to do? Oh, look at this guy. This is Roblox. We'll edit that guy out. The View. Oh, God.
Oh no.
I don't know if I want to see this. Should we?
You can't make this up.
Okay, we see these witches for a second. All right. Let's see what-
Joy Behar.
let's go with it. Let's do
Earlier in the evening,
from the beginning.
there was something about the debate that drew him into this state that he was in. Because watch this: while Donald Trump was probably enjoying a celebratory platter of cheeseburgers, President Biden made an appearance at a watch party a little while after the debate, and he scarcely resembled the guy from earlier in the evening. This is really unbelievable. Watch.
Look, folks, what's going to happen over the next couple of days is they're going to be out there fact checking all the things he said. I can't think of one thing he said that was true. Oh, I'm not being facetious, but look, we're going to beat this guy. We need to beat this guy. And I need you in order to beat him. You're the people I'm running for.
And if the drugs don't work.
63. You know, yeah, what happened?
Yeah, but that's called drugs, John. That's what it is. That's what happened. It's called extra strength Adderall. This guy, what's Obama saying? Here's President Obama signing the bill in 2014. At the debate, Trump took credit for passing the Veterans Choice Program. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of things Trump said weren't true. We know that.
Newsom.
It's clear, yeah, Gavin Newsom was thinking that Adam Carolla was going to discuss the Trump-Biden debate. Instead, Carolla went after Newsom on why he shut down beaches, etc., during the COVID pandemic. And you can see that Newsom was completely flustered.
Let's hear that. Let's see
You
that.
want to see? Okay.
States like Florida. If you didn't know,
Wait, let's say it from the beginning.
Adam Carolla here. Governor, why did you shut the beaches in California during COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all were working on information at the time. We had no basis of deeply understanding the virus. I think they.
So you didn't know anything, so why'd you shut the
States
beaches?
like Florida.
You didn't know anything, why'd you shut the beaches?
But we didn't know. Yeah, because people were concerned early in the pandemic. Information was coming out as it relates to how it was transferred, the disease. People were cautious, trying to keep people alive. And I should say this, I
You
didn't
just let
know
them go in the sunshine and get vitamin D
California Health
and
Reform.
exercise, so you shut the beaches, okay. And you arrested a guy.
I love this guy.
Yeah, any
So it was good to see that.
Any sign
We're
for
all
all
geniuses
outdoor
and also-
dining. Why'd you shut down outdoor dining? Go ahead, go ahead.
Good to see
It's based on
So,
science, you didn't have.
The debate tonight,
It's not a debate. You shut
I'm
down
looking
outdoor
forward to the
dining,
debate.
you
It's
canceled
very good
businesses. Has nothing to do with science. All right, let me finish. People.
Kill the feed. Kill the feed.
all this happened in
Whoa.
Oh boy. Yeah, you know, that's just something I like because there's been no accountability for any of the COVID
None
you
whatsoever.
know, COVID knobs. Like these guys, it's like everybody forgot already. You know, like
I will never forget. I had it extremely bad, but as well as that, I do agree with a lot of things which people were saying at the time that which didn't make sense, like shutting down beaches, and people should have been out trying to get
ridiculous.
vitamin D and exercise as well.
I remember they arrested this one guy. He was kayaking alone,
Yeah.
and they went out and they got him. And I mean, was he getting the fish sick? I don't get it.
Yeah, they were doing some ridiculous things.
Oh
but
man,
I
people have
mean,
forgotten how Nazi and crazy everybody was.
Australia, they were like getting them kids at the
That was
skate
the
parks
worst.
and stuff like that, chasing them like they were on Planet of the Apes or something, man. You know, the
Okay.
humans, get them.
Right.
You know, it was just ridiculous. And I mean, what what better condition for a virus to fester in than a nice, warm, enclosed area, whether be it mask or being locked up in your house. You know,
Yeah.
it makes
Get no sun,
yeah, no,
you know, no contact with other people for the elderly. I mean, it was perfect.
it was perfect.
Honestly, like it's criminal, and you know, I can't believe that it happened. I can't believe how quickly people turned fascist as soon as there was a little bit of fear. Everybody turned, you know, into a Nazi. And,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah, people lost jobs, people lost lives, people weren't able to say goodbye to their loved ones, and everything's, you know, hunky dory, going back to the old style of.
Yeah, for me, the whole COVID period for me is very similar to the Iraq period, where they told us that, you know, Saddam Hussein could bomb us within like 4 minutes in the UK. I think it was very similar to that, but obviously on a bigger scale and very similar to the 9/11 situation as well. So there's some comparisons between these things where they take away the powers of the average person and introduce new laws, draconian laws, and people just, you know, just fall in line
Yeah,
without even challenging.
with just insanity,
Yeah.
you know, cloth masks, 6 feet in distance. I mean,
Can you imagine that?
you could have told them you need to stand on your head. You
Yeah.
know, like it was just.
And people's behavior just turned absolutely strange, you know, because of the whole situation.
Right.
And I made a video at that time. I was filming people with their masks in the park with their masks and holding their babies with their masks, and the baby's got a bloody mask on as well, you know. And I just thought it was just crazy. I posted it on YouTube, and it got taken down within like
Oh, of course.
5 minutes.
That's all it took, huh?
5
Just in
minutes.
5 minutes.
I'm gonna re-upload it actually.
That's all it took. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, throw some common sense behind me, so we can
close out the show.
close out the show.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa! What's going on here? What's going on here? Huh?
okay. Well, thank you for watching us again. We're not going to ask you to like or subscribe because here at Common Sense, we want you to do what you want to do. But it'd be nice. Anyway, see you next time from me and.
From me as well. Take care. Bye bye.
Common sense.